India is today at a turning point in its civilizational journey. The country is surging ahead as the fastest growing major economy, claiming to become the world's fourth largest. We speak of Viksit Bharat 2047 with confidence. We speak of digital India, manufacturing hubs, defense self-reliance, and a future where India reclaims its rightful place as a global power. But there is one hurdle that threatens to derail this dream: our judicial system. Sanjeev Sanyal, member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, has openly called it the single biggest obstacle in India's path to become a developed nation. His words are not just an economist's analysis, but a wake-up call to the entire nation. If India wants to achieve the dream of a strong, self-reliant and dharmic Bharat, judicial reform cannot wait for tomorrow, it must happen today. Sanjeev Sanyal's critique of India's judiciary comes at the right time. He has warned that unless we overhaul our outdated legal ecosystem, no other reform will be sufficient to deliver the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047. He has rightly pointed out that India has only 20 to 25 years to make this transformation. After that, our demographic dividend will fade and India will start aging like Japan and Europe. This is the narrow window in which the country must maximize its growth, and it cannot afford to waste time battling an inefficient judicial setup. The heart of Sanyal's argument is what he called the 99 to 1 problem. In a healthy judicial system, the 1% of exceptional cases of fraud, misuse or dispute are resolved swiftly by the courts. But in India, because the judicial process is so slow and unreliable, regulators and policymakers are forced to create excessively complicated rules for the other 99%. Instead of trusting the courts to sort out disputes, we create a web of red tape that punishes everyone. This over-regulation has suffocated economic activity, discouraged investment, and created opportunities for corruption. One of the strongest examples Sanyal cited is the failure of mandatory pre-litigation mediation under Section 12A of the Commercial Courts Act 2015. In Mumbai's two main commercial courts alone, nearly 99% of these mediations failed. Instead of reducing the burden on courts, this system has added months of delay, increased costs, and discouraged businesses. This proves his point that tinkering with procedures alone will not solve the crisis. The problem is structural and it demands a complete transformation of India's legal culture. India today has almost 5 crore pending cases across its courts. Commercial disputes drag on for years, eroding trust in the system. Investors hesitate to commit capital because contract enforcement is weak. Foreign investors repeatedly cite India's judicial delays as a major obstacle. For ordinary citizens too, justice delayed is justice denied. When land disputes, family cases, or business disagreements stretch across decades, the public loses faith in the very foundation of the rule of law. Sanyal is right. This is not just about efficiency. It is about the future of our civilization. He has also questioned the outdated cultural practices of the legal profession. In a modern democracy, why should lawyers address judges as "my lord"? Why should courts take long colonial-style vacations while crores of cases gather dust? The judiciary is not above the people. It is a public service like any other. If government offices, hospitals and police stations work year-round, why should courts be shut for weeks? The legal profession, Sanyal argued, still functions like a medieval guild, where rigid hierarchies such as senior advocates and advocates on record control access. In the age of artificial intelligence, why should routine paperwork require a law degree? These are uncomfortable but necessary questions that the legal community must answer. Technology can and must be used to break this logjam. India has already shown the world how digital platforms can revolutionize governance. UPI, Aadhaar, and Digital India have transformed how citizens interact with the state. The same must be applied to the judiciary. E-courts, online filings, virtual hearings, and AI-assisted legal research can drastically reduce delays. If routine disputes can be resolved digitally, courts will be free to focus on major cases. This is how India can leapfrog into a new era of judicial efficiency rather than patching up a broken colonial system. But technology alone will not solve the problem. The deeper issue is mindset. For too long, sections of India's judiciary have behaved like a separate empire accountable to no one. They have resisted reform, clung to colonial traditions, and refused to adapt the aspirations of a rising nation. This attitude must change. The judiciary is a part of the state, and like every other institution, it must serve the people. It must align itself with the vision of Viksit Bharat and recognize that justice is not an elite privilege but a basic necessity for every citizen. Sanjeev Sanyal's warning must be seen in the larger national context. Since 2014, the Modi government has reformed taxation, streamlined corporate laws, modernized infrastructure, and launched Make in India. The bureaucracy has changed, governance has changed, but the judiciary remains stuck in the past. Unless it reforms, all the gains of economic policy risk being lost in endless litigation. That is why Sanyal's call to the legal profession to pull up your socks is not an attack but a plea to rise to the occasion, to shoulder the responsibility of nation building. India today is in the middle of a historic opportunity. Our economy is growing and our youth are ambitious and our leadership is strong. But if our judicial system continues to delay justice, the dream of Viksit Bharat will remain incomplete. The judiciary must modernize, shed colonial practices, embrace technology, and function as a true service to the people. Sanjeev Sanyal is absolutely right. If India wants to emerge as a developed nation by 2047, judicial reform cannot wait. It must begin now, because a strong and fair justice system is not just about law. It is about dharma, about the very foundation of a civilizational state that is rising once again on the global arena.